Go Parlay King Sports. The Dallas Mavericks are done. Before I jump off in here, if you sensitive, you need to leave the building right now. You need to leave the building right now if you sensitive. The Dallas Mavericks are done because number one, they don't respect Jason Kidd. They respect Jason Kidd as far as what he did in the NBA, but they don't respect Jason Kidd as the NBA coach, especially Luca. Luca don't respect Jason Kidd at all, at all, and it's sad because Jason Kidd, he was a good player, a great player in the NBA when he was playing basketball, but as a coach, he failed. His first stint, he had Giannis in Milwaukee, and that didn't go well. So he got fired from Milwaukee, and then he ended up on the Lakers assistant bench, and he was there for some years to grow and to learn. And then, the Dallas Mavericks called him up, say, "Hey, you want to be a coach of the Dallas Mavericks? You get to coach Luka," and he took the opportunity. But now, Jason Kidd he done wore everything out now. The players, especially Luka, they don't have no respect for Jason Kidd. And once the star player of the team loses respect of the coach, then the rest of the team follows. I think the reason why Dallas Mavericks ain't fired Jason Kidd is because Mark Cuban don't want to fire Jason Kidd during the season. And he's trying to see if Dallas can still get into the playoffs. Now, with only 8 games left, I highly doubt that Dallas gonna get in the playoffs when you 2 games behind OKC. It's over with, man. It's been a disaster, a straight disaster. And in order for Kyrie and Luka to flourish, you got to have the right pieces around them. And Dallas don't have the right pieces around them. You need big men. Dallas don't have. They got a couple of big men, but they don't play defense type big men. Luka need a center and power forward that know how to play defense. Plus, Luka don't play no defense at all. He always complaining with the refs while the other team running down the court. He at the other end of the court complaining to the refs, crying to the refs. Man, it's a disaster in Dallas, man. It's a straight disaster in Dallas. And Luka is out of shape. He out of shape, man. He missing layups. This is how you know he out of shape. When you seeing your star player miss layups, you out of shape, man. And I'm gonna put some of this blame on Luka because you the star player of the team, so you got to get some of this. You got to get some of this fault, man. Your fault is coming into the season out of shape. You drinking too goddamn much. You smoking too many motherfucking hookers. Like, I understand you looking at it as, look, I'm only 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm still young. I got like 15 years left in the NBA strong. And I'm telling you, you ain't gonna last 15 years in the NBA if you up here smoking the hookers and drinking beer every goddamn day. You ain't gonna make it in the NBA 15 years. You out of shape, man. You out of shape. There's no reason why you should miss wide open layups. It's because you out of shape. And Dallas don't put the right support system around Luka to bring the greatness about him. And what I mean by greatness about him, I mean by accountability. Dallas they don't hold Luka feet to the fire when shit, you know what I'm saying? When shit start turning wrong, they don't hold Luka's feet to the fire. You know what they doing now? They holding Kyrie's feet to the fire. They trying to throw everything on Kyrie. They like, oh, ever since Kyrie got here, you know, we I forgot the record they threw out there. It was like some shit like 6-14 or some shit like that since he's been there or whatever. And I'm like, it's not on Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all knew when y'all was trading for Kyrie, Kyrie don't play no goddamn defense. Y'all knew that shit. Luka don't play no motherfucking defense. That's why he be getting roasted. Luka don't play no defense, man. He don't play no defense at all. He just want to play the offensive end of the court. And that's why Dallas is in the predicament they in right now, because they don't play no defense. They don't have the right players around Luka and Kyrie so they can thrive the way they supposed to thrive. You ain't got the right pieces around it, and you definitely ain't got the right coach. You got a sorry ass coach that don't even know how to put his lineups together. Jason Kidd ain't gonna win nothing in Dallas. He got eight more games, and then he up out of there. He up out of there. Mark Cuban gonna get rid of him soon as the season over with. He gone. And what Dallas need to do, they need to go find a coach that's gonna hold Luka accountable. Luka been in the NBA 5 years now. Next year will be 6 years. You got to take the training wheels off Luka, man. Mark Cuban still got the training wheels on Luka. It's Luka's way. We gonna let Luka do whatever he want to do. We ain't gonna fault Luka on nothing. And then look at you now. You're not even in the play-in. And then Luka got a 16th technical foul, so he ain't even gonna play in this game against Indiana tonight. It's terrible. It's a disaster in Dallas. A straight disaster. And now I see why NBA players don't want to go to Dallas. I see why. I see why. Because at first I was like, hold on, man. Why ain't nobody want to link up with Luka and shit? Because he a ball hog. He don't know how to share the goddamn basketball and shit. He want to do everything on his own. And I'm like, I sat back and just looked at it like, yeah, you're right. Like, Luka, every time you see Dallas play, Luka has the ball in his hands like 95% of the time. And you can't win like that. Ask LeBron. Ask LeBron. You got to get off that ball sometimes and shit, man. You got to get off that ball, man. You got to get off that ball, man. And the way that Luka plays right now, they ain't going to win no championship. He won't win no championship in Dallas. I'll put it like this. I think they got, what, 2 more years left for Luka, and then he'll be up for free agency in 3 years. If he don't win nothing in Dallas, I guarantee you Luka gonna leave Dallas in 3 years. He gonna leave Dallas. He gonna leave Dallas because he gonna realize, like, I'm gonna be 9 years in the league. 9 years in the league. I ain't even been to the finals. I ain't won an MVP. Well, you will never win MVP because you don't come into the league in shape. That's another reason why Luka will never win MVP in the league, is because you come in the league, you come in the season out of shape. You out of shape, man. Like, if you want to win MVP, you got to come into the season with that MVP mindset. You're a great player. Don't get me wrong. Luka, you's a great player. But you have to get in shape. You got to leave that beer alone, man. You got to leave them hookers alone. You got to leave that shit alone, man. That's the only way you're going to be great. If you don't leave that beer alone and smoking weed and shit, if you don't leave that shit alone, Luka, you will never be great. You're gonna always be in the play-in tournament. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for a playoff seed. You ain't gonna never be a top 5 seed in the NBA if you don't get in shape. You'll never have that. You'll never see that. So I'm expecting Dallas to cut the plug, pull the plug on Jason Kidd in 8 games. And Mark Cuban need to go back to the drawing board, man. You need to go back to the drawing board. When you fire Jason Kidd, you better put a coach, a no-nonsense type coach into that position. Because if you go get another Jason Kidd or a yes man, somebody just say yes to Luka and don't, criticize him on nothing, you're gonna be in the same predicament that you in right now in 3 years. 3 years from now, you're gonna be in the same predicament you in right now. Not in the play-in. Now you looking at lottery now. You might as well, Dallas might as well tank. You might as well just, if I was Dallas, I would intentionally lose all these games and shit. You know what I'm saying? Might as well see if you can get a high draft pick or something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's over with, man. It's over. No playoffs this year. No playoffs. And it's crazy. Like Luka been in the playoffs all these years, and now this is gonna be the 1 year where he ain't gonna make the playoffs. And this should be a wake-up call to him, man. He should want to come into next year in shape and ready to go. In shape and ready to go. If this right here don't wake you up, Luka, for you to come back next year strong, you should want to be the MVP next year. That should be your goal. You should be like, look, man, I want to win MVP next year, man. This is my 6th year in the league. I ain't won nothing. Nothing in the NBA. Nothing. Yeah, I've been on first team all NBA. But I want to win some shit. I want to win some hardware. I want to put some hardware in my jury case. That's how Luka's supposed to be thinking next year, coming into the season. Tip top shape, ready to go from game one. Leave that beer shit alone, man. That shit ain't going nowhere. Beer, weed, that shit ain't going nowhere, man. You can fuck with that shit when you retire, man. When you retire from the league, you can do all that shit. Right now, it's about winning championships right now, man. Championships, MVPs. Look at Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Look at Giannis. Champion, MVP. Don't you want to be like Giannis? Don't you want to be like one of the top 5 players in the NBA? Don't you want to make a name for yourself when the playoffs come around? Don't you want to be great, man? If you want to be great, you got to let go of all that stuff. If not, you're just going to be a good player in this league, and that's about it. So the Dallas Mavericks, 1-2-3 Cancun is over. Your season is over. Get ready for the off season. Hopefully, Kyrie signs back with you in the off season. But it's gonna all come down to coaching. If they put the wrong coach in place, Kyrie ain't coming back. Kyrie ain't coming back. So Mark Cuban, you better pick the right coach, man. You better pick the right coach, or you ain't gonna have Luke in 3 years.